Hello everybody and welcome back to another top 10 video. My name is Joker and today we're going to be going over my top 10 Marvel heroes. I really don't know what it is with this series, but you guys are absolutely loving the top 10 videos, so I'm pretty sure this is going to stay as a regular thing, and I've been given so many requests to do top 10s of specific things. Marvel heroes and villains, my top 10 childhood video games, or even my top 10 favorite Call of Duty maps. So believe me guys, I'm going to be getting those videos out to you as soon as I can, but for right now, let's go ahead and start with my top 10 Marvel heroes. And starting off with our number 10 spot, we have Vision. Vision's first appearance was in the Avengers comics issue number 57 in October of 1968. Vision is an android that's known as a synthezoid that was created by Ultron. In the comic run, Vision's original purpose was to bring the Avengers into a trap that was set by Ultron. However, during the process, they managed to turn Vision against Ultron and defeat him. Afterwards, Vision began to learn of his creation and he was knighted as an Avenger. And like many of the characters that I've placed in other top 10 videos of mine, Vision is in this list because he's got great powers and a slick costume design. Vision has the ability to change his mass and his density, making him insanely heavy or even give him the ability to phase through walls. In Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe, in his head is embedded the Mind Stone, which is one of the 6 Infinity Stones. In the comic run, it was actually referred to as a solar jewel, which absorbed solar energy, and with that, he could do his best impersonation of a Bulbasaur and fire a solar beam. All of those abilities combined, along with a really clean-cut costume design, it just makes for a great superhero. Coming in at number 9, we have Hank Pym, otherwise known as Ant-Man. While there have been a number of characters that have taken up the mantle of Ant-Man, I'm focusing mainly on Hank Pym, whose first appearance was in Tales to Astonish number 35 in September of 1962. Hank decided to become a superhero after his wife Mariah had been murdered shortly after their wedding. His days as a superhero become a lot easier when he discovers a chemical substance which, when combined with his body, alters his size, and thus becomes the Ant-Man. One of the reasons I really love Ant-Man and the reason he's in my top 10 is because when he shrinks down to an ant size, he still has all the strength and abilities that he would in his normal size. So in mid-battle, if he changes to the size of an ant and decides to punch you, it'd be the equivalent of getting hit with a bullet. And the best part is, as soon as he hits you, he can go back to his normal size and continue to fight you, and you'd never see it coming. Coming in at number 8, we have Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. With her first appearance in Tales of Suspense issue 52 in April of 1964, Black Widow was a Russian spy that was trained to be a sniper, a spy, and a martial artist, and everything in between. She has literally been involved in just about everything, from turning Hawkeye from supervillain to superhero, working alongside Nick Fury in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and even having a romantic involvement with Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. One of the reasons I put her on my top 10 list is simply because she has been involved in so many story arcs throughout the comic book universe. Coming in at number 7, we have the almighty Rocket Raccoon. With his first appearance in Marvel Preview issue number 7 in summer of 1976, Rocket was known as the guardian of the Keystone Quadrant. The Keystone Quadrant was an area in space that was sealed off by the rest of the cosmos by something that was called a Galatian Wall, which leads me to believe that that was a storyline written by flat earthers, but I'm just guessing here. Eventually we come to realize that Rocket is actually an escaped test subject and used to be just a normal raccoon. But yeah, we don't talk about that part. Later, his character would resurface in one of the greatest comic series ever created, which was Guardians of the Galaxy. And as we're coming into my number 6 spot, I definitely have to give it to Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel. Well, Carol Danvers' first appearance was in Marvel Superheroes issue number 13 in March of 1968. Her first appearance as Captain Marvel would not hit shelves until Avenging Spider-Man issue number 9 in July of 2012. During the 1968 run, Carol Danvers was an officer in the United States Air Force. And during a trip on a secret military base, she is saved by an explosion from Captain Marvel, but is however injured in the process. Many years down the line, her character would resurface with new powers and take on the persona of Miss Marvel in 1977. Fast forward to 2012, and she has left the persona of Miss Marvel behind and has taken up the mantle of the next Captain Marvel. Power-wise, she has all the abilities that Superman has, however, we subtract the laser eyes and add in a sixth sense ability. And with everything that I know this character can do within comics and in video games, I am so excited to see what they do with her movie coming out next March. Coming in at number 5, we have a very big fan favorite, and that is Dr. Stephen Strange. Dr. Strange's first appearance would be in Strange Tales issue 110 in July of 1963. Dr. Stephen Strange was a surgeon, and the only thing he ever cared about was his career. Unfortunately, one night while driving his car, he ends up crashing and his hands get damaged in the wreck. After realizing that he can no longer use his hands as steadily as he used to during surgery, he bankrupts himself trying to find cures for his hands. Eventually, his search brings him to the Himalayas, where he begins searching for a hermit known as the Ancient One. After finding the Ancient One in a quick brawl with Mardo, he becomes the Ancient One's new apprentice. Doctor Strange then begins to learn the mystic arts, and then starts his journey to defend the Earth from outer dimensional forces. So basically, from a glance, his character is just a space wizard, and I mean, who doesn't want that? That's amazing. Coming in at number 4, we have one of the greatest superheroes ever created, and that is Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. With his first appearance in Amazing Fantasies number 15 in August of 1962, Peter Parker has been through it all. Peter Parker is just your average nerdy high school kid whose life changes forever when he's bitten by a radioactive spider. Once the spider's DNA has mixed with Peter's, he realizes the next day that he has supernatural powers. With these powers, he's given super strength, the ability to climb walls, and Spidey sense. And yes, I know he can shoot webs, however, in the original comic run, it was actually a device that Peter had made to wear on his wrist to where he could shoot a synthetic web that would dissolve within a few hours. The best part about this character is easily that he can win just about any fight you put him up against, simply because of the spider's sense. It allows him to feel a sense of danger if trouble is right around the corner. Therefore, you can never get the jump on him. Coming in at number 3, we have James Howlett, aka Logan, aka Weapon X, aka the Wolverine. Wolverine's first appearance was in The Incredible Hulk, issue 180 in October of 1974. As a kid, James realized that he had the mutant gene inside his body, giving him animal keen senses, a healing factor, and bone claws that came out from between his knuckles. At an older age, he would eventually be selected to be part of the Weapon X project. During this process, a secret government agency pumped his body full of adamantium. And while it didn't kill him because of his healing factor, it did manage to coat his entire skeleton in this indestructible metal, including his claws. That's right, the weird-looking bone claws went away and they came back as razor-sharp blades. Eventually, while on a trip to try to find out more about his past, he would eventually come across Xavier's School for the Gifted, and he would be taught by Charles Xavier on how to use his powers. And thus, one of the most badass superheroes was born. Coming in at my number 2 spot, we have another fan favorite, that being Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. Iron Man's first appearance was in Tales of Suspense, issue 39 in March of 1963. We find Tony Stark as what he calls himself, a billionaire playboy philanthropist. However, as the story unfolds, he ends up getting kidnapped by terrorists who threaten his life if he does not build a bomb for them. And while it looks to them like he's building a bomb, he's actually building an energy-based metal suit that he wears to escape and get to safety. After escaping the terrorist and returning home, he decides to make some modifications to his suit using weapons and technology from his company. And after the final paint job dries on the suit, he sets off to defend the Earth as Iron Man. And while Tony Stark sometimes comes off as being rude and selfish, these are two aspects that comic book readers have loved. For once, it was nice to get a superhero that wasn't afraid to give it to you straight for a change. And coming in at my number 1 spot, we have Kane Parker, aka Scarlet Spider. Kane Parker's first appearance in the Marvel comic universe came about in Web of Spider-Man issue 119 in December of 1994. During this run, we realized that Kane Parker is actually one of the first successful clones of Peter Parker. However, once his creator realizes that he's actually deformed and mentally unstable, he decides to get rid of him completely. And we wouldn't really hear much about Kane Parker for many years later. And then Kane Parker reappears after so many years as the Scarlet Spider, in Scarlet Spider issue number 2 in April of 2012. One of the things to take away from this is that when Kane comes back to us in 2012, we realize that his mutation has been cured. And while he is cured from his mutation, his spider powers are still there. Another important part to this character is that because of his mutation, his powers are immensely stronger than Peter Parker's Spider-Man. One of the biggest examples being his Spidey sense. While Peter Parker's Spidey sense has the ability for him to sense danger just before it happens, Kane Parker's Spidey sense is actually so powerful that he's able to get quick glimpses into the future. After realizing that his powers are so great, he decides to move to Houston, Texas and take up the mantle as the next Scarlet Spider. Now, while I am a big fan of the Venom look, the Scarlet Spider has one of my absolute favorite costume designs, specifically Kane Parker's. While the original red and blue hoodie was cool, I just love that clean black and red design. And that will conclude this top 10 video on my top 10 Marvel heroes. Now, of course, I already know that this list is not exactly the same as some of yours out there, and some of you may have lists that are completely different. So before you go, be sure to drop a comment down below and tell me what your top 10 favorite Marvel heroes are. Or if you think my list was good, but you felt some characters need to be replaced with others, leave a comment. I want to know what you think. We're currently in the beginning stages of a recruitment challenge for SoaR Gaming, and I would love nothing more than to be able to be a part of that. So don't forget to add hashtag SoaRC and hashtag SoaRJokeR. But that'll be all for this video, guys. Remember, if you like what you saw, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like to see more top 10 videos, or if you'd like to see anything else. And once again, do not forget to leave a comment telling me about your favorite top 10 Marvel heroes. But until then, and as always, I will see you guys next time.